The following episode of Spoilers for Days was released on the GR8 M8S Podcast on March 4th, 2019.
Where are we going? Where are we going?
Welcome back to the summer season of GR8 M8S Podcast. If this is your first time listening to us, or the 1000th time you're listening to us, we are a bunch of young Australians who usually talk about our lives here in Australia and pop culture and the internet. You've caught us in our summer season, so that means there's a whole bunch of different things that happen, and especially with this mini-series, which is called Spoilers for Days, we do what it says on the tin. Talk about stuff with a lot of spoilers. So this week and for the next few episodes for this mini-series, we're going to be talking about something that's called The Good Place, something that a few of us have watched religiously, and we'll get to talk about some of the stuff, well, all of season 1, all of season 2, and all of season 3. So if you haven't watched it, you should probably go watch it, because, you know, spoilers. So joining me, I've got Nick.
G'day.
And I've got Brandon.
What's good, friends?
Just very quickly, Brandon is, as he's on exchange, there is no good mic audio
Don't
for
remind
him.
me.
So.
Stop bringing this up. I hate this.
Oh well, we'll make do. We'll make do. So this episode we're going to be talking about The Good Place season 1, which was, I believe, did this premiere 2016? 2017?
Yes,
2016, yeah?
Well,
End of
2016 going into 2017.
2017. Yeah. So yeah, I have done a long-ish summary for the entire season. So, bear with me, dear listener, as I get through this. Oh boy. Eleanor Shellstrop wakes up to find herself in the Good Place and meets Michael, its architect. He tells her that as she has lived a good life on Earth working as a humanitarian activist, she has earned enough points and thus deserves to be in the Good Place. She then meets Janet, an seemingly omniscient being of the neighborhood and Michael's assistant that takes the form of a woman. Michael then introduces Chidi Anagonier, a moral philosophy professor, who is matched with Eleanor to live for eternity as soulmates, but after a while, Eleanor confides to him that there's just one problem. She's not meant to be in the Good Place, because she's a self-proclaimed trash bag from Arizona. Both Chidi and Eleanor meet their next-door neighbours, Tahani Al-Jamil, a British socialite and philanthropist, and Jian Yu Li, Tahani's soulmate and a Buddhist monk who took a vow of silence, who throw a welcome party. Chidi, who is agonizing over whether or not to help Eleanor, ultimately decides to help her, and chaos ensues upon the neighborhood. After a series of unexplainable events, Michael recruits Eleanor to help him figure out what's happening for fear of failing his first big project, and someone lets Eleanor know she's not meant to be there. That someone turns out to be Jianyu, who's actually Jason Mendoza, a Filipino-American from Jacksonville with a passion for EDM and an obsession with Blake Bortles. He too can't explain why he's in the Good Place, and ends up also taking ethics lessons from Chidi, all whilst keeping his actual identity a secret from Tahani. Tahani is frustrated at the lack of any meaningful communication with Jianyu, and instead redirects her efforts to help the neighborhood after finding out she has the second lowest points of all the residents. With no real explanation in sight, Michael accepts his fate and plans his retirement. Chidi prevents this from happening by accidentally murdering Janet, who is then magically resurrected at her funeral, and is in the process of reacquiring everything she had previously learned. Michael attempts to investigate Janet's murder, and Eleanor protects Chidi by revealing to Michael and the rest of the neighborhood that she doesn't actually belong, but not before declaring her love for him. The bad place, represented by sleazy demon Trevor, are called to take Eleanor, but before they can take her, Chidi comes clean about Janet's murder. It comes to pass that there's another Eleanor Shellstrop, the real Eleanor Shellstrop, who is meant to be in the Good Place instead. Somehow, both Eleanors died at the same time in the same incident, and the system couldn't determine who was meant to go where. At a double date over dinner, Chidi and the real Eleanor begin to form a very strong bond, and Trevor attempts to hit on the fake Eleanor. After learning that she's actively tried to become a better person, Michael insists on fighting for fake Eleanor to stay, and Trevor threatens to call Sean the Eternal Judge. Meanwhile, Tahani finally finds out about Jason and is told that Chidi was the one who was actually doing all the grand gestures and a love triangle forms. In Janet's state of rebooting, Jason says that she's the only one who was ever kind to him and decides to take her hand in marriage. Tahani has a brilliant idea to ensure fake Eleanor is able to stay. She proposes that she do good deeds towards her fellow residents because poverty's nerfed, but after no change in her score, comes to the realization that her motivation for self-preservation is stopping her from earning points. Sean arrives at the neighborhood by train to begin proceedings, while fake Eleanor secretly plans her escape to somewhere medium. She, along with Jason and Janet, who has begun to develop romantic feelings for Jason, commandeer the train and head to the medium place, whose sole resident, Mindy St. Clair, is desperate for cocaine upon their arrival. Sean goes ahead with the trial, and after cocooning himself up every time arguments were presented with great emotion, decides that both Jason and fake Eleanor will go to the bad place. Should they not return, Chidi and Tahani will take their places instead. Fake Eleanor convinces Jason that they should go back and save their friends from going in their place, but they miss the deadline by mere minutes. Sean decides that any two can go to the bad place, which causes heated arguments between the four. Eleanor then realizes they're not in the good place, they're in the bad place, and that Michael made her, Chidi, Tahani, and Jason all torture each other in many ways. Michael confesses that this is all an elaborate ruse to prove to Sean and the other bad place architects that there's more fun to torture. Eleanor gloats about how Michael isn't able to change anything for a second chance, but inadvertently gives Michael the opportunity to try again. After convincing Sean, but not before being threatened with actual retirement, Michael resets the world. Eleanor Shellstrop wakes up to find herself in the good place and meets Michael, its architect. He tells her that as she has lived a good life on Earth working as a humanitarian activist, she has earned enough good points and has thus deserved to be in the good place. Michael introduces Eleanor to her soulmate, Chris Baker, a very, very, very attractive mailman. She then meets Janet, a seemingly omniscient being of the neighborhood, and Michael's assistant that takes the form of a woman, who gives Eleanor a piece of paper with the words, "Eleanor, find Chidi." Oh dear lord, that was a very long monologue. So yeah.
A decent Mark Evan Jackson impression.
I can't do Mark Evan Jackson. For those of you who also don't know, there is a podcast that is produced by NBC, and Nick and I highly recommend that you go listen to it because it's great. So yeah.
I haven't listened to that podcast, by the way, so I can't extend that recommendation.
Not yet. So, I guess what we'll do is just give the audience a brief idea of how we, when we first started watching The Good Place. So, I started watching it probably with a recommendation from someone from, the Slack community. I think that's where I got that recommendation.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
That is a very long time ago. Like mid 2017. So season 1 was already out on Netflix. And yeah, I loved it mostly because of its, mostly because of, the whole themes about, heaven and hell, and I guess more so about philosophy and that sort of stuff. So that sort of intrigued me and kept me in the loop. And yeah, Nick, how about you?
Well, I remember seeing promos for it in other TV shows I watched when it first aired in America, and me being like, oh yeah, these are some actors I like, and they're just like not watching it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it would have been like the start of last year, after just having so many people recommend it. Mm-hmm. I just watched it.
Oh yeah.
So that's pretty much it.
Brandon?
I started 2 weeks ago.
Oh my god.
I don't do anything while I'm in the UK, so
Yeah,
I mean, that's not true.
a friend and I started watching it one night, and then I would watch it with him, and then he's already seen it, so I basically decided that I was definitely okay to watch the entire first and second season alone.
Dear lord. Oh boy.
Which I did yesterday.
Yeah.
So-
In preparation for this.
Well, Yeah.
Basically. Dear.
That's how I started.
So I guess the main thing is, as I mentioned in the summary, there is a massive twist at the end, which is, surprise, surprise, they're not in the good place. Did anyone...
Well, I mean, really, it starts with a twist at the end of the very first episode.
Yes, that's true. She knows she doesn't belong.
Which, as, like, I wonder how many times we'll refer to The Good Place, the podcast, but they literally go through, like, this could have been a season, if not multiple seasons in itself, that they smushed into one episode.
Yeah.
So
I guess we'll just go through the twists on twists on twists. So obviously Eleanor figures out she doesn't belong. Jason, then we get the whole Jason thing.
Ooh, that was a good twist.
Oh, that was a good twist, wasn't it? And then the next twist after that, I believe, is when Eleanor admits that she, to everyone else, including Michael, that she doesn't belong. After that, we get real Eleanor, and would you put Medium Place as a twist?
Kind of.
It sort of sits in this weird, like, it could be a season on its own sort of thing. But yeah, and then obviously the grand old twist of Bad Place.
Of yeah, bae.
Yeah, base. Oh, that moment though. Oh, God. So yeah, just as a side, we are going to talk about season 1 in a weird, non-linear, non-chronological way. So definitely keep an ear out for that. I guess what I'd start with is who's everyone's favorite character in season 1? Does anyone have a favorite one?
Season 1?
Yes, just season 1.
Just season 1. I mean, probably still Jason and Janet.
Yes. Why? But why though?
Because Jason is such a great comic foil, and as is Janet, really.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
they're the two characters that keep the comedy of the sitcom going through all this serious stuff of, like, I don't belong here, and then so much moral philosophy. All the moral philosophy.
Oh, all the philosophy. That is true. Like, definitely post murder Janet is a favorite. But Jason is definitely up there. Yeah. Brandon?
I vote for Chris Baker.
Chris Baker. Oh, good lord. I wonder why. I wonder why.
Anyways, sorry guys, I gotta head to the gym now. I'll be back.
Oh my. Oh god. That.
No. I quite like Eleanor, which is very cliche because she is the protagonist of the entire story. But she's cool, and she's mean, and she's sarcastic, and she tries to swear all the time. So I feel a kindred connection with her.
Well, I mean, the final reveal does begin with "Holy motherfucking shirt balls."
Yeah, how good.
Which I literally said, not even thinking about it as a reference, a couple days ago. Just some shit went down. I was just like, "Holy motherfucking shirt balls!" I was like, "Oh, hang on! I actually just quoted a show without like purposely quoting a show. That is how deep this is just seeped into my subconscious."
Oh yes. Is it also the copious amounts of alcohol, Brandon?
That too.
Oh
So
dear.
there's just a lot of similarities.
Just a lot, huh?
We're just two hot pieces of Arizona trash.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Who's yours, Josh?
I already. Jason.
Fuck. I hate Jason.
Jason
Why
is
though?
just such a lovable dum-dum.
I
He's
know.
the
Jason-
most lovable dum-dum ever.
Jason is. Yes.
We
Jason-
all want to go to his butthole.
The what? The what?
The butthole.
You want to enunciate that a little bit better?
Yeah, no, he means butthole.
No.
It's a hole for my buds. Oh my god. Oh dear. Jason is very sweet, but also very, very stupid. And I've said this line before.
It hurts.
I know it is frustratingly painful to like a character that is so stupid, but he's such a he. Oh god, like bloody hell, Jason. Manny plays him so well. Like
Yeah.
massive, big shout out to Manny.
I mean, to begin with, just the props for all that silent, physical acting in the first couple episodes.
yes, and the facial expressions that go with it. Oh dear. But yeah, did any of you pick it up at all? That the fact
I mean,
that-
technically, I already knew.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's
No,
sort of
like, I
ruins the
literally
twist.
had gone in. I literally went in already knowing the twist.
Ah, damn.
So,
But were you still, I guess, surprised at how they did it?
yeah, I suppose.
You suppose.
Like, I mean, I was curious to see how they got to it.
Yeah.
Like, what goes through, and all I knew was, like, just, this is the bad place. I didn't know any of the Eleanor knowing so early. I didn't know about Jason. I didn't know about Michael so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. See, I didn't. Yeah, no, I hadn't like read through any synopses for the show before I started. So, yeah, when we get to episode, the final episode for the season, like episode 113, it was shocking. Although I should have picked it up a bit earlier, given the fact that Michael kicks a dog into the sun. That should have been a big red flag.
Rewatching it over the last couple months, yeah, you see so many red flags.
Yeah.
Including, again, something referenced in the podcast, in that you never see Michael by himself.
You always
Like,
see
you look
him.
back and you're like, yeah, he's always talking with one of the four, and I think there's one scene where he's talking to Janet.
Yeah.
Every other scene, he's
With someone.
working with one
yeah.
of the four.
Yeah. I can't remember exactly when. Yeah, I know that there are at least maybe 2 scenes at most in season 1 that have just Michael and Janet. And, you know, Janet is a good Janet. She's not a bad
Yes.
Janet that plays a good Janet. Because we know what happens when a bad Janet tries to become a good Janet, because she melts away. So, yeah.
And a good Janet isn't that good at being either a good or a neutral Janet.
Or a bad Janet either.
Yeah, a bad Janet. Yeah, a bad Janet or a neutral Janet.
Spoilers.
I'm just saying words. Words are not spoilers.
Oh, but you know what they say. These can manifest in weird ways.
Did you guys want to hear? I literally got to the twist last night.
Oh
As in,
my
I
god.
finished the first season last night,
Yes.
Oh,
which does mean that I binged the entire second season in a night.
This
but let's
morning.
In
ignore
less than
that.
24 hours. Yes.
Yesterday, 9:39
oh
p.m.
dear.
Wait, the twist in the good place. What is happening? I'm so shook. Chris Baker is so hot. What the fuck?
God
Actual
bless.
texts I sent.
I do recall seeing something like that in group chat. When I woke up this morning, I was like, "Oh boy, oh boy." And then you got to Chris Baker. Of course, you got to Chris Baker.
Of course. That's just a given. Like, come on.
Oh dear.
Why would you even be surprised?
Yeah, I shouldn't be, should I? I really shouldn't. God Almighty. Ah, dear. Did you guys have any like favorite moments that came out through this season? Like any hilariously funny things that stood out to you? Because I know mine. I think mine would probably have to be just finding out, like, Jason might be dumb, but he's still smarter than Pillboy, which is like a whole different level of like, oh god. And yeah, just that entire thing about how Jason died.
Yeah, I was
That
about to say,
was
yeah. How Jason
so
died?
Fucking hilarious.
It's like the buongiorno. I become
Well,
to
yes.
install a safe.
Yes, we start with that, then we go to Snorkel.
Oh, and then we cut to him realizing that, oh, I wonder why I still died with a snorkel in a safe.
The police officer.
Oh my god. Oh, there's so much more like fantastic adventures with police. Goodness.
Also, yeah, just anything to do with Jason. Jason and his addiction to Molotov cocktails. Just yelling Bortles all the time.
Portals. Oh dear. And there's a moment in season 2 where it's just as good.
Is that the
At the end, towards the end.
The museum? Yeah.
Yes, the museum.
Yeah, the museum. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god.
That is an amazing scene.
And how good is Manny in a suit? Oh, speaking of which, Brandon, we can talk about this here. Did you see that video with Manny and Tan in conversation with each other?
I did not.
How have you not?
Well, I don't know if you've known, but I've been watching The Good Place for about 12 hours.
In between sleeping, of course.
Yeah, sure.
When you get to watch it, it is glorious.
I will make sure to put that on a list somewhere.
Oh dear. Did you guys have anything you wanted to bring up, I guess, in terms of season 1?
Just how terrible Trevor is.
Oh, Trevor is
He's
such
just the worst.
You mean how great he is? I fucking love Trevor. I realise I'm
all
not the
the-
person to watch this show.
it's fine.
Just all of his demons as well. Just
Oh,
It's
yes.
fucking
Them-
amazing. I love-
them doing the Nixon tapes.
Snorting the
Hilarious.
concept of time.
Yeah.
How good.
Just how good.
I love Bad Janet. Like, she's amazing.
Oh, bless.
It's so good.
Oh, dear.
It's just such a weird show. Like, props to everyone who works on it because
Oh, yeah.
yeah, just the just snorting the concept of time,
Yes.
and like most people would say that writer's room had to be on a lot of concept of time themselves.
You would think that, but still.
Yeah.
Oh, and Sean. Let
Of
us not
course,
forget.
Yes, the beautiful man of Sean.
Yes, that is Sean.
Who
It's
just-
and the whole thing about like being so insecure with dealing with emotion that he needs to, oh boy.
Which isn't even a thing by
No.
the end of it, which is the best. He's just
Yes.
being even more of a jerk.
Yes, he is. Oh my god. Just like that whole scene where Tahani, Chidi,
Yeah,
Michael, and
he's trying to cope with it.
like monotone. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, Jamila's so good. Just all the actors are just...
Even the writers that turn up as actors. So there are a few writers of The Good Place that end up on the show. So Glenn is one.
I think technically all, except for Mike himself, have all appeared in the show pretty much.
I haven't
In one
okay.
way or another.
Oh yes, either as
A lot of them have
a
bit
credited
roles.
extra or
Yeah, or as actual characters.
yeah. Todd.
Yeah, Todd.
Oh my god. Yes, lava monster. Sure, very casual. Oh boy.
I mean, Vicky.
Oh yes.
Oh, God bless.
God bless. Look. If Vicky should have won, like Tia Sarkar, who plays Vicky, should have won some sort of like best supporting actress role, like award,
I mean, just in the last episode where Michael's like,
where she
Vicky.
turns, the moment she turns is like,
Yeah. He's just like, Vicky, they figured it out. She's like, fuck you.
she had this whole thing planned. Oh dear. And just how like when she's first introduced as in air quotes real Eleanor, just the way that she conveys her life story about being born to poor parents who had to leave her in a fish tank in Bangladesh, and then she gets adopted to people in the United States, but her adoptive parents die young. Then she has to learn English from Seinfeld, and oh my god. Just all those things, and guilt tripping fake Eleanor, as it were, into really believing she doesn't deserve to be there. It's just great.
So cruel. And then just
Yes.
the clowns. Just those clowns. Those scary motherfucking clowns.
No, you know what's real gold about those clowns? It's the clowns that are hiding in the sliding doors.
Oh yeah, those are.
I mean,
fucking
just-
scary.
Those.
Just the clowns everywhere. And the sound of the doors closing.
Oh yes, because that's like carnival music, right?
Yes.
Oh,
And it just punctuates just like anytime you get like a sad or just like neutral character and the
Yeah.
doors close.
Oh dear. Oh, and the lack of stairs. The stairs in that house. Oh dear. Everything about this show is great. So, it's like I really can't stop singing its praises, to be honest. Yeah.
It really is one of the smartest shows on television at the moment.
And like we said before, it just runs through plot lines so quickly.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll get to it next episode in series 2, but there's literally an episode where they go through like, well, technically 800 seasons of content in one episode. Actually, less than one episode.
Well, half an episode?
Yeah, it's about half an episode, but yeah, they just they truck through content.
Good lord. Oh dear. Brandon, given that you recently watched this, and
Yes.
Nick and I have not, is there anything that stood out to you in the first season?
The entire first season is a blur to me. All I can remember is Janet giving Michael a bunch of cacti.
Oh yeah. Or Michael and his rocks.
Oh yes. Oh yes. And when
And
we get to
also-
season, oh my god,
The red boots.
Dumb Janet is the
Scene.
best.
the red boots theme. Oh
Scene.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, the scene with the red
God
boots.
bless Chidi.
Oh, Chidi.
Oh, Chidi.
Oh dear.
I do have some connection to Chidi and that indecisiveness.
Oh,
I just
me too.
Like
to some
I
extent.
remember just being younger and just not being able to make any decision whatsoever freaking ever,
Yes.
and just literally umming and ahhing about ice cream flavors. Ah, just watching it, just bad flashbacks.
oh dear. Oh dear. Chidi's indecisiveness, though, it really gets to him.
Well, yeah, he almost died because of it.
Well, he kind of did.
Nope, it's yes,
Oh,
he
dear.
did die because of it.
He did die because of indecision. Cause of death, indecision.
Well, no, cause of death, refrigerating unit,
Air conditioning
yeah.
unit. Just no one
which
used
is
air
a
conditioners.
refrigerator.
Is your room a fridge?
I guess, but
An air conditioner works via refrigeration.
yeah, yes.
Yeah, it is a refrigeration unit.
Yes.
Whatever. Also, just what we're thinking about JD's death, just Eleanor's death, just dying
Because of trolleys.
trolleys, margarita mix,
Mm-hmm.
being a terrible person,
Yes.
out of date shrimp,
Ugh.
just everything, just that entire shopping trip is
I mean,
cringe.
self-proclaimed Arizona trash bag.
What is the magazine?
Oh god.
Celebrity baby plastic surgery mishaps or something?
Something like that.
It's some shit like that.
I would
It
read
is
that
The
magazine.
worst.
Of course you would, Brendan. Of fucking course.
That'll be fucking hilarious.
Oh god. Oh dear. Lonely Gal
See-
Margarita mix. Oh
Yeah.
god.
Season 1 really does start with some great need nuggling.
Oh yes, and we'll get to the entire thing about flying shrimp and other such fun stuff. Oh, also dress bitch.
Oh,
Yes.
dress bitch.
Dress bitch.
Oh my god. If you thought that Eleanor was a trash bag, dress bitch is actually the real trash bag. Oh god.
Oh, I think their friend is more of a trash bag than both of them.
Oh, the one that also did
Makes the t-shirts.
Oh yes. I'm thinking, is that the same friend that invited her to go to that Rihanna concert?
Yes.
Ah, maybe. That's true.
Who also has more starring moments at the end of season 2, but again, that will be left till later.
Yes. Oh, dear me. I don't think I have anything else I want to think, because season 1 and season 2 like just goes so well, like in terms of like progression of story. It's like there's a lot more that you can unpack through looking at the next season. So, yeah,
Oh, I'm just all the torture. Just as you watch back, because I've technically watched season 1 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
So you just see the torture more and more blatantly obvious between the having to pick up trash and all the exploding things. And
all the
well,
exploding things.
I mean, it's not her fault that a dog got kicked into the sun, but
That's
a dog
true.
gets kicked into the sun.
Yes. Sinkhole.
Sinkhole.
Sinkhole. What other torture stuff is there? Oh, the love triangle. Yeah, is a form of torture.
I mean, there's multiple love triangles going on.
Yes, there are actually, and we might touch on that in later episodes. What else?
Well, I mean,
is
we
there?
can begin with touching on the love triangle of Jason, Tahani, and Janet.
Oh, that's
which,
true. The wedding scene though. The wedding scene.
which I don't think that is the start of the not a girl, not a robot, but it is.
I believe it. Yeah. It's not the start, but
it's not
you
the,
definitely
but
know.
it's like, yeah, it's like where it properly begins.
Yes. And somehow Jason convinced Janet to give him a tux that rips off at the
that
sleeves.
rips away.
Gosh. For a very hot second, I
To
think
be
it's like,
fair,
did we
thinking
turn
about
into
it-
like a magic Mike sort of thing?
And especially at the moment with Australian television having Married at First Sight,
oh,
there
Lord.
are some adjoining themes between that marriage and Married at First Sight marriages.
Such as? Because I don't watch it.
Well, Married at First Sight for one,
Mm-hmm.
seeing Janet has pretty much just woken up,
Yeah.
and her admitting that Jason being the first person who was, well, they were both the first person to be nice to each other.
Yeah.
Terrible weddings that shouldn't happen. Terrible clothing, aka the rip-away tux.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, everyone wants... Yeah, but if someone wore that to an actual wedding,
yeah, no, that's...
if the groom rocks up and pulls away his sleeves, you're thinking, what the fuck type of wedding is this?
I would love that. I want
It's
to
a
go
magic
to a,
Mike. It's a magic Mike wedding.
I want to go to a
sure.
wedding where that happens.
Just make it your own, Brandon.
No, I can't do that. It has to be someone else's wedding.
Oh, so you want to be sitting down drinking wine and just watching this happen?
I want to be sitting down drinking gin, but that's okay.
Fair enough. Oh dear. Yeah, I can see that. It's just like so much ridiculousness, especially.
Besides,
And-
Jason has nice arms.
Oh, we'll get to Manny's physique very soon. Dear Lord. Jason calling Michael dad is
Yes!
Michael is not
Jason,
Janet's
you would-
father.
So stupid.
But again, the intention of him calling Michael dad comes from a good place.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
super honorific.
Jason is both the purest and the least pure of heart.
His heart is misplaced, but it's so pure. Oh boy.
It's in the right place when it really matters.
Yeah, and when it really matters is few and far between. Oh, my goodness.
I mean, that also then leads to the medium place of them trying to figure out how to have sex.
Oh, yes, that's true. Because technically, because Janet is not a woman, nor is she a robot.
Yes. She's not a girl. She's not a robot.
Yep.
And
So,
that is not skin.
oh dear, that is a thing. That is just like. So you're really gonna try it, huh?
Jason will try anything.
That is true. He did lock himself in a safe. And other weird shit that
I've
we might
also
get
thought
to.
that's a really good safe to also be a airtight safe.
Didn't they mention that it's linked to like some Parks and Rec reference or something? It's mentioned in the podcast though. So
I think the brand of the safe is.
I'm gonna have to.
But yeah,
I think I remember. Them referring it to because it's a Ron Swanson brand, like a Swanson safe. company
it's a
branded
Swanson safe. Yeah.
So yeah, it's Mike sure has put in a little Easter egg for Parks and Rec people.
There is
in there.
always Easter eggs.
Oh, so many Easter eggs there. I think what we might do is, in case anyone doesn't, does anyone else? Do you guys have anything else you wanted to bring up?
Don't watch The Good Place while you're high, because apparently it's terrifying.
It is a show that needs like a fair amount of attention.
You need to be at semi-sober.
Could you imagine seeing flying shrimp? Like, giant flying shrimp?
And giraffes and a sinkhole that swallows people.
Just, while you were...
And just Ariana Grande playing.
That got stuck in our head for so long.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah, it really
Of course.
does.
Of course, it will never leave you. Like if you watch that episode, it will never leave you for a while. So yeah. Okay, so I guess that's it for season 1. As we've said, definitely go watch all of season 1 and all of season 2 and all of season 3 if you haven't done so already, because why the fuck would you be here? Also go listen to the podcast, Good Place Podcast as well. And Nick suggested that we actually do something that comes from the podcast, which is a segment that they call What's Good. So if you have anything that you want to share that is good, something that made you laugh, something that makes you happy, you can do that now. So Nick, do you have anything?
What is good to me at the moment is Quidditch has started up again. It's good to get back, have some physical activity, see people who I passively aggressively get along with, and other people I happily get along with, and just don't feel lonely and isolated as much anymore.
Cool. Brandon, do you have anything you want to share? Something good?
Totally unrelated to the last thing that I said about watching The Good Place. While high. But what's good is that I have at least one close friend in this new city that I'm stuck in. So I'm going to see the positive in my situation and not think about,
what will happen?
the other shit. So we're going to call that a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. What would I say that's good? What's good is, coffee. Just because I've so desperately needed it this week. Doing a lot of week stuff and then not having like a proper weekend to sleep in. Coffee's good. Coffee's real good.
Coffee is good. Can relate.
It is. Oh dear. So that's going to be it for part 1. I guess we'll do a bit of social stuff Brandon, where can people find you?
Catch me on Instagram, brndn.le. Twitter if you remove the dot, but I don't post ever. So, do with that what you will.
Yeah. Nick?
People can find me at Nick Lancroon, which has most of my personal stuff. That's Twitter and Instagram mostly, as well as I will start plugging my new initiative called To Me Love Is, at To Me_Love Is, which is just a collection of tweets from me, my friends, people from the pod, just explaining what they love and what love means to them.
Cool. And you can find me basically everywhere as Abankpinoy, ABANGPINOY. Definitely go hit us up on the podcast socials, both on Instagram and Twitter as GR8 M8S Podcast. And definitely please go subscribe to us anywhere you listen to a podcast. Leave us a rating and review. Give us 5 stars because we love 5 stars. We need more reviews, honestly. And yeah, this is going to be it for part 1. We'll see you in part 2 of the, for season 2 really, of, the recap for, that Good Place. God, I'm so tired. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye.
See ya.
Where are we going? Where are we going?